Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to our Listen to the Missus podcast. I'm Art Lewis.
I'm Ann Williams.
Coming to you from the studios of WSGW Radio in Saginaw, Michigan. And today, I did a little travels we're going to talk about. I've got a couple of food items to talk about. You got some dates for us, don't you?
Well, it's the month of October, early in the month, so, talk about the food holidays. It's always a food holiday every month, every day, every week. So
It seems that way. And some recipes to go with it. Mm-hmm. So I want to start out. I recently returned from Switzerland. It was, for me, a bucket list trip. We took radio station listeners with us, but it was a bucket list for me because I'm a mountain nut, and I just loved the Alps. They were everything I ever dreamed they would be. They were just absolutely
I was able to go to Switzerland many, many years ago. I'd like to go again.
That's right, because you were in France, weren't you? And you went to,
I traveled around a little bit.
It was wonderful. Mm-hmm. The food was better than I expected, and they have everything there. I mean, you think of Switzerland, you think of cheese, and you think of fondues, and they certainly have that, and you think of chocolate. Oh, yeah, brought home chocolate. Matter of fact, I have global entry when I come back into the United States, and you have to go to a kiosk, and you put your hand down, and it certifies who you are, and you answer the customs questions. And I did check off that I brought back food. So instead of getting my free pass, it gave me a big circle around, go to baggage control, So on the way out of that, the customs guy was standing there, and he said, well, what did you put down? I said, food. He says, what'd you have? I said, chocolate. He says, everybody comes back from Switzerland with chocolate. Go. So I didn't have to go to baggage control. But, chocolate was wonderful. But the money, that's another story. Restaurants are extremely expensive.
Really?
And the comparison I was giving folks was, if you went to a McDonald's and you ordered a quarter pounder with cheese and some fries and a small drink, probably cost you, $7.50 in the country?
Which to me is still a lot.
Yeah, well, take a $20 bill over there.
Oh, wow.
Coke's, a regular Coke, $5. I mean, it's $12 for some of the sandwiches and stuff. It's expensive. All the restaurants are that way. Tipping, though, is not.
But is everything else expensive, too, though?
Yeah.
The cost of living generally is higher?
Yes, it is. It is because it's a wealthy country. I mean, there's a lot of wealthy people in Switzerland have made their homes there. And
Swiss bank accounts.
Yeah, and Swiss bank, that's right. They were just in the news not too long ago. Not a good one either. But, the Credit Suisse and USB or UBS, whatever it is. But it's the things that impress you about Switzerland, A, the scenery, the mountains. The architecture is almost all Swiss chalet. You've seen the chalets. Everything looks like that in every town. It looks like they took it off of one and just simply cut and paste into another location. Cable cars, by cable cars I mean the gondolas that go up the mountains, everywhere. And multiple routes. You can take one, get off, and go in different directions, and you can go from, we went from about 4,000 or 5,000 feet up to about 11,000 feet, and spectacular rides. But the food and the cost of food is what I will remember, and the people, very friendly. There is no unified language in Switzerland. There are regions. There's German, French, and Italian.
Well, the closer you get to the border of any of those countries,
exactly.
is the language
and
they
that's
speak.
Exactly what dictates it. And there is another one called Romanche, but I have no idea what it is. It's some kind of a kit bash of language, if you will. And so in school, depending where you live, you take your primary language, French, German, Italian. And then after a number of years, everybody's required to take a second language, which is English. So almost everybody speaks English one way or another, more than enough that you can communicate. And all the stores, all the restaurants, anybody you came in contact with, all spoke English. And it was just, it was a great experience. I mean, I can cross it off my bucket list now. And the one other thing that we did, we took trains everywhere. We took 3 different trains. But one of those trains took us to Montreux.
That's where I went when I was in Switzerland.
Did you
I spent
really?
the night there, yeah. Took a boat from Geneva to down Lake Geneva to Montreux. It was just the most gorgeous thing in the world.
Now, I think, though, you were there after Queen. No, you were there before Queen. Because Freddie Mercury and Queen recorded 6 albums in Montreux. He lived there.
Okay, I didn't know
And
that.
there is a Queen Museum.
Yeah, I think I was there before.
Yeah,
So
because now they have
yeah.
erected a statue of Freddie Mercury along the waterfront.
I didn't know that.
Big bronze statue, bigger than life. And then they have this museum, this Queen Museum experience. It's free. It's open to the public. They have some of his old outfits, the old recording studio. And outside they have a wall at the end of the building. It's the memory wall. And people write things on it to Freddie Mercury.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's
You know,
become an icon lately, the
Well,
last
the
few years, especially with
Bohemian-
the movie about him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I signed my wife and her girlfriend's name on the wall right above a picture of him.
Are they fans?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I scored with that
Yeah.
one. But it was just a wonderful time. Food was outstanding. People were outstanding. It was a great
I have to
time.
say, my memory of that trip, and it was many, many years ago when I was a college student, but of all the places I was able to get to, about 6 countries while I was in Europe, and the memory of waking up in Montreux in the morning and looking out the hotel window and seeing the mist over those mountains, it was breathtaking.
It is.
Breathtaking.
And everywhere you look, it's a postcard. You know,
yeah.
Everywhere you look, it's a postcard. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. It was a great time. 10 wonderful days, and we had a lot of listeners with us, and really had a great time. Couple of food notes. I know you have a couple too, but I wondered how long this was going to take, because you know all those energy drinks out there. You know, the 5-hour energy. You pop the little bottles. You drink those super caffeinated drinks.
Yeah?
How long was it going to be before one of the majors, particularly Coca-Cola, caught up with them? We will now have in the U.S. Coca-Cola Energy. 4 different flavors of it. 0 sugar cherry, 0 sugar, and regular. It will have as much caffeine as a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So-
some of those things have more than a cup
And
of
some
coffee.
have more, but it's bringing its first ever branded energy drink to the U.S. in 2020. So you'll start seeing it on the shelves.
Okay.
And if that doesn't give you enough energy and enough caffeine, Starbucks has something called an Oogie Boogie Frappuccino on their secret menu. It is the weirdest looking thing. It's green. They've had others. They've had the Jack Skellington Frappuccino and the Nightmare Before Christmas. Oogie Boogie is described as a burlap sack filled with insects, spiders, and snakes for a tongue. Why would you order this thing? It's weird looking, too. It's greenish, and it's a frap, but it's on their secret menu. You got to know they have it to get it. I'll quickly forget that they have it, so I won't get it. So this is the beginning of the month. What are we celebrating in October?
Quite a few things, actually. October is American Cheese Month. It's New Zealand Cheese Month. It's Cool Food for Kids Month. It's National Cranberry Month, National Apple Month, National Applejack Month, that's an alcoholic drink, by the way. National Caramel Month, or caramel, however you pronounce it. National Chili Month, National Cookbook Month, National Cookie Month, National Country Ham Month, National Dessert Month, National Eat Better, Eat Together Month, National Farm to School Month, National Kitchen and Bath Month, National Pasta Month, National Pickled Peppers Month, National Pizza Month, National Popcorn Poppin' Month, National Pork Month, National Pretzel Month, National Seafood Month, National Spinach Lovers Month, National Toilet Tank Repair Month,
What?
Toilet Tank Repair Month, Squirrel Awareness Month. Some people eat squirrels, I guess.
Oh.
Vegetarian Awareness Month, and Celiac Disease
You
Month.
sure that's all?
That's all. I told you it was a lot.
Oh, my
Speaking
goodness.
of chili month, I made my first chili of the season yesterday.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah. It's not, well, it's a little chilly today, but it wasn't yesterday. But, I
Yeah.
just was in the mood. I don't make it much in the warmer months, but I did last night. But in the spirit of the foods that are being celebrated, I thought I would share one of our recipes from our vast Listen to the Missus file. Since it's apple month and it's dessert month, both. How about Shirley's daughter's apple cake?
Oh, good. Sounds
Yeah.
wonderful.
So it starts with 2 eggs, a half cup of oil, 1.5 cups of flour, a half teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 cup of pecans chopped, a teaspoon of vanilla, a half cup of sugar, a half teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 cups of apples peeled and sliced. And then you have a topping, and that calls for a half cup of brown sugar packed, a 1/4 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine, and a half teaspoon of vanilla. What you do is beat the eggs first with the vanilla and oil till well combined. And then you mix your dry ingredients, your sugar, flour, salt, and baking soda. Stir half of that into the egg mixture. Then you add in the apples and nuts to the rest of the dry mixture. Combine the 2 mixtures. Pour them into a 9-inch pie plate. And this is baked at 350 for 30 to 35 minutes or till done. And then you make your topping. Combine the brown sugar, the butter, and milk. Bring it to a boil over medium heat. And then you're going to take it off the heat and add in the vanilla. And that gets drizzled over the cake. And then you garnish it with pecan halves. That is Shirley's daughter's apple cake.
Lovely.
For apple month and dessert month.
I have a tease, a bit of a tease for everybody. Ann and I, on November 27th and again on December 24th, are going to be doing 1-hour Listen to the Missus specials live at 10 o'clock in the morning on WSGW. And we will then podcast those hours.
Oh.
So those are the 2 biggest days of the year in terms of pre-holiday. So we will do a live Listen to the Missus at 10 o'clock in the morning on November 27th and again on December 24th,
All right.
before Thanksgiving, before Christmas.
We're coming
little
back temporarily
Tease, little tease.
on the air. That'll be fun.
It will be. It will
Yeah.
be. You have another recipe.
I have another recipe since I think the biggest thing about October for a lot of people is Halloween at the end of the month. So here's a Halloween related recipe for a punch. If you're having a party or something, kids would especially like this. It's called Putrid Punch for Halloween.
I love the name.
So it calls for 13 ounces, a 13-ounce package of lemon lime Kool-Aid, the pre-sweetened kind. A cup of sugar, 8 cups of water, a can of frozen orange juice concentrate, 4 cups of ginger ale, and 3 scoops of orange sherbet. And then you can, if you want to, make some worm cubes, meaning you take some, you freeze some ice cubes and put gummy worms inside of them. So you're going to freeze the gummy worms inside the ice cubes. So what you do is empty the Kool-Aid into a punch bowl, add the sugar and water and just stir it. And then the orange juice goes in, stir it well. Just before you serve it, you add the ginger ale and the worm cubes. And then you float scoops of sherbet on top. And it says here, before long, the punch will be green and infested with the worms as the ice cubes melt. And this makes enough for 14. It serves 14, so it's a punch for a large group of people for a party. So I think kids would really love that. And both of these recipes, by the way, if you happen to have our cookbook number 6, it's both of these recipes are in there.
All right. Speaking of Halloween, Aldi's is coming out with Halloween-themed cheeses. They have the Scary Pumpkin Spice Wensleydale cheese, the Freaky Franken Sage Derby cheese, the Batkrut Crazy Cheddar, and No Rest for the Wicked Wensleydale cheese.
Oh, wow.
All special cheeses for Halloween.
Well, speaking one more time of Halloween, this article was in our local news outlet yesterday, MLive. And according to this website, candystore.com, candy corn is not as popular as pink starburst for Halloween in Michigan. I guess they did some kind of a survey, and people enjoy the pink, which are usually limited edition, I think, the pink Starburst candy better than they like candy corn. It's based on sales. Mm-hmm. See, 114 pounds of the Starburst versus 86,000 pounds of candy corn.
So, a little
I
bit.
think it may be because candy corn is not available all year.
That's true. Right.
I don't think you can find it all year round. Maybe you
In
can.
some
I'm
places, but
yeah.
not everywhere. Yeah, it's tough to find.
Yeah. I'm a fan of candy corn.
I am
though.
too. My
but
wife
it's
brought
just
home a
it's like
container.
pure sugar, but I just I like it for
I
some
know,
reason.
That's the problem. You've identified the
And
problem.
I like the texture of it
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, listen, folks, if you'd like to contact us, you can get a hold of us. Ann, why don't you tell them how to do that?
You can go to WSGW.com, where at the top of the page you will find a link to the Listen to the Misses page. You can, listen to the podcast there and also get in touch with us there if you'd like to leave us a message. We have a Facebook page as well, Listen to the Misses Facebook page. You can message us there. And you can email us. My email is ann@WSGW.com.
And mine is Art Lewis at WSGW.com. Look forward to chatting with you again on our Listen to the Misses podcast. Till we talk to you, have a great time.